Hey, what's going on? It's Daniel, the AI fantasy guru, with the Saturday morning just before Sunday podcast, and I'm just checking in on you. How are you? Did you have a good week? Did all your players put up points for you? Do you struggle to maintain an erection when it's sexy time? If so, here, take 2 of these and call me in the morning. Our Dallas motherfucking Cowboys came back this week to deliver the people's elbow to Bill Belichick and the Patriots. The defense was fucking mac and cheese Jones shit up left and right, and our southern-sized dicks were slapped across the face of the red coat sympathizers with a hot serving of country gravy. Also, we are going to the Super Bowl, and are going to 69 the 49ers Sunday night. Yeehaw, partner, man. Did it work? Are you fully erect now? Good deal. Time to go flaccid again by taking a look back at last week's action. I will try to go easy on you this week.
I'm sucking my own dick and dying.
Get pooped on, bruh. I told you King Cobra was gonna wax that ass in last week's video, and that ass got waxed. His players all banded together, displaying a perfect synchronization of football elitism while emphasizing predatory behavior, seeking every little fraction of a fractional point for the beloved King Cobra. It was then capped off by a sacrificial performance from Mr. DJ Hey Maybe I Don't Suck Anymore, who sat at the top of the illuminated pyramid that is King Cobra's roster, putting up an enlightened score of 23.10 points against the Denver Broncos. Praise the supreme architect of the universe for this bountiful blessing bestowed upon the shiny golden god King Cobra. That's what's up. Also, the Bears still lost. For the team with a new powerful and thought-provoking name, Jake Sucks Big Fat Dingaling got a good performance from Achan, who did not in fact burn the team that picked him up this week, putting up a score of 25.50 points against the Bills. But let's face it, you don't stand a chance when Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase combine for a measly 14 points. Maybe that trade last week was not such a bad idea after all. Let's see how Ja'Marr is feeling.
Nah, I'm open. I'm always open.
Oof-sized load. King Cobra strikes again, and wins this week with a final score of 109.42 to 88.30. Cobra continues his win streak and is on fire now. Straight NFL blitz mode, you rednecks. Child, please. Get out of the motherfucking way, or get run over. Next game. This game was very close going into Monday night, with the final outcome coming down to the matchup between the spiraling toilet bowl of an organization that is the New York Giants and the Seahawks. For corny dog dongers, he had Tyler Lockett, who underperformed with 7.40 points Monday night. But he did get another good performance from Justin Jefferson, who put up 23.50 points in the win against the Panthers, and Jalen Squirts, who pushed his way to 24.16 points in a close game against the Redskin Commanders. For TDD, he had the slight edge Monday night, with Kenneth Walker putting up 13.90 points. He also got another big game from Lamar Jackson, who dominated the Browns, and put up 28.14 points. The cherry on top this week was a throat goat level performance from Stephon Stone Cold Diggs, who torched the Dolphins putting up 33 points, and gave us the best touchdown celebration you will ever see. Oh hell yeah. I am so fucking jacked right now. I could put my head through a fucking brick wall. That man is now my favorite football player ever. Tyler takes home the win this week, with a final score of 122.24 to 111.86. Sorry corny dog dongers. Diggs was just too much to handle, but remember, life is a garden. Dig it. And that is the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so. Next game. For Jake off all day, he unfortunately got some pitiful micro-penis-sized performances from his team this week, with most of his players failing to even crack double digits. But he did get a nice finish from Josh Jacobs, who erected a score of 23.90 against the Chargers, while also getting another great performance from his unanimous MVP, Jake Elliott, who put up 18 points in the win against the commanding Redskins. That guy is the heart and soul of Jake's team. My nigga. For Judy, he emptied his sack on some Christian McCaffrey, who put up a powerful Arian score of 45.20 points, then continued to pump his way through the post-nut pain, with Justin Fields, who had a great comeback game this week, scoring 28.90 points against the Denver Broncos. Ayuk and Bijan Robinson had some good games as well, but the aforementioned two players alone were enough to bend over and dominate Jake off all day's team, who ends up losing this game to half-cocked Poopy, 134 to 97.86. Which also means that this turd bucket of a game wins this week's blowout of the week. Hip hip hooray, hip hip, you're gay. But also, fuck this guy for playing the fucking New England defense against our great God-fearing Dallas Cowboys. Like, who the fuck do you even think you are? Here is a few choice words to you from my main man, Donald J. Trump.
Alex Elk, you're a retarded man and have little tiny baby balls. These are slanderous acts from a Sus Cowboys fan, and you need to be deported to Mexico on the wrong side of that wall. We are making America great again, and it starts with you not being in it.
Those are stern, but fair words from a man who knows a dirty traitor when they see one. You just wait until next week, nerd. Those 69ers are going to do that fainting goat thing at the first sight of Micah Parsons blowing up the line, swinging his mandingo dong around that football field. Next game. Our next game up featured one squad looking for its first win, and another still riding the high from week 3's dominating performances from the Miami Dolphins, who looked like they snorted up the entire booger sugar supply in Florida before playing the Broncos. It was unfortunately not the same story this week for Jeffy though, as Tua and Hill both failed to replicate those numbers in week 4. He did get some help from DeAndre Swift, who put up 15.90 points against the Redskins football team, while Alvin Kamara returned this week after his suspension for opening up a can of whoop-ass in Las Vegas, and put up a decent score of 14.90 points against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For Tanner's tip-top team, he got a great score from the Baltimore Ravens, who put up 17 points against the Cleveland Browns, and was also rewarded for listening to my AI fantasy advice by playing Baker Mayfield, who pulled the fuck out on the New Orleans Saints, scoring 23.94 points. Which also means Tanner was able to squeak out a close victory in this dumpster fire game, earning his first win of the season, with a final score of 80.44 to 78.68. Ball with our ball. D-bang D-dang diggy diggy. Next game. Blowing out backs was certainly blowing out backs this week, with another fat performance from Josh Babyface Allen, who dropped the hammer on the Miami Dolphins, accumulating another impressive score, with 36.50 points, while getting solid performance all around from his other players. Most impressive of the bunch being Khalil, hey I still exist, Herbert, who looked gigantic against the Broncos, with a score of 20.20. For Brett's bitch ass, his team also had great performances from most of his players, most notably another great game from Justin Herbert, who scored 24.38 points in the win against the Gators, while Derrick Henry had a vintage performance, rumbling and stumbling his big ass to a healthy 23.88 points. The effort came up short this week though, as Blowing Out Backs wins this game, 133 to 121.06. It was a good effort, Brett, but these games can be a cold bitch sometimes. And sometimes Josh Allen comes in and just wrecks your fucking fantasy week. Next game. Our last game was without a doubt the closest game of them all, with only half a point being the difference this week. For Jake's furry squad, he got another nice performance from the red-hot rookie Anthony Richardson, who put up 29.60 points in the close game loss against the Rams, and Puka Nacua, who again had a monster game, putting up 26.80 points. His team was undoubtedly pulled down by the stinkers from Pittsburgh's defense, who managed a negative points, and Chris Olive, who managed .90 points in the ass-pounding to the Buccaneers. For Buckerson and Myers, his team actually did pretty shitty this week, with 6 players failing to meet their projections, but he did get one massive game from a Gabe Brown, who dominated in the Washington game, putting up 34 points. Which was just good enough to take home the victory this week against Jake's God Squad, with a final score of 99.74 to 99.20. Ain't that about a bitch, Jake? Should have played Kyron Williams, nerd. I do respect Buckerson's decision to roll with Dak over CJ Stroud though. A classy move. That guy's a true Cowboys fan. And with that, week 4 is over. Time to move on to week 5. Sluts.
Don't worry, saved you again, best buddy.
That's it! Killing you both! Big bang attack!
Get trolled, homie. Thank you for joining us for another week of fantasy football. I look forward to seeing what dumbass decisions you make this week. Just a reminder, there is a game happening over in London early Sunday morning, in it? Okay, that's it for the Saturday morning podcast. I will check in on you next week. Go fuck yourself.
So tell me, I want to know what you did this time that you didn't, because I'm told you went off the escarpment.
Yeah, well, to test the suit, the full limits. In other words, the government still wasn't pleased with the fact that, you know, in doing our research, if a bear did attack, that I would be saved or come out of it unscathed. So this markup, the Ursus
See, it
Mark
looked pretty
V,
good to me the first time.
It did, but it wasn't good enough for those.
Yes.
So what we did was we built another suit, which we had planned to do, and redid the test, this time magnifying them to how would one say, refute all. We pushed the trucks up to 3-ton trucks at 50 kilometers an hour. And then, of course, we did the boards.
A 3-ton truck ran into you at 50 kilometers an hour?
18 times.